Now, when it comes to the Cold War integration, one of the only guns you can use in the integration since the DMR nerf is the FFAR. In comparison to guns like the AMAX and the Kilo, it isn't even used as the same type of weapon. So most of the time what we'll end up seeing is people running the AMAX, the Kilo, even the M4 has been becoming a much more part to the meta due to the fact that most of the Cold War guns have way more recoil and just can't compete as much with the Modern Warfare gun. But in this video today, I'm going to show you guys a weapon attachment that is going to change all the Cold War weapons in a way that it feels like there is almost no recoil behind it. Now, what I'm talking about is the Vision Tech 2X. Now, I know a very large majority of the Warzone community likes to use the VLK 3.0. So, of course, people see the 3.0 and they think 3x. So they're going to just use the axial arms 3 times. Now, there's a hidden mechanic inside of Warzone, which is called camera recoil. Now, what camera recoil is on top of the gun's natural recoil, which I'm going to go over on some of the Cold War weapons. There is also camera jump, where your gun will bounce and your camera will move with the initial recoil. So on guns like the DMR or the Krig, the axial arms 3x makes it seem like there is a lot more recoil than there really is. But when you slap the Vision 2X on this gun, it's going to feel like there is almost no recoil at all ranges. In my opinion, it could even bring the DMR back into the meta since all the nerf on the DMR was only to recoil, and this makes the gun feel just like it was before the nerfs. So we're going to hop into a plunder game really quick, and I'm going to show you guys what I was talking about when I was saying what camera recoil is. So we're going to hop right into a plunder game, and I'm going to show you guys what I meant by camera recoil. I want to show you guys the difference in what recoil looks like, and I want to show you that even though you have this on, the gun has the same recoil pattern. However, it does not feel as though it has the same exact recoil pattern. It feels like an absolute laser beam. So let's hop straight into this, and I'll just show you guys what it looks like once we're in game. So now that we're in game, there's a couple reasons that camera recoil is in the game. Now, of course, we have the obvious camera recoil, which is based off of how zoomed in your guns are, which is going to make the gun jump a little more if you're super zoomed in, trying to shoot extremely precise. So camera recoil is a thing that is in all shooters, and what it basically does is based off your gun and the ergonomics of the gun, it'll kick on your camera regardless of the recoil of your gun. So as we see here with the two guns, I'm going to show you the recoil pattern to show that the recoil pattern doesn't actually change based off which scope you use. However, using the Vision Tech 2X, it makes your gun easier to handle and 100% makes it feel like there's almost no recoil when you shoot it. So I'm just going to spray at this wall, and then we're going to switch over to the 2X. I'm going to show you guys that there's no recoil difference. All I'm doing is holding my mouse down. So obviously, we see that with the Krig, the gun goes up to the left a bit, then right, then back left. So let's check what it does with the 2X. So this is actually applicable to all guns inside of Cold War using the 2X. Obviously, the Vision Tech 2X isn't on the guns like the AMAX or the Kilo, so this is not going to help. And of course, it's still preference if you want to use the 3X versus the 2X, as initially, people only use the 3X for the extra vision at distance. So we're going to try the 2X now, and again, like I had said before, it doesn't actually change your recoil by any means. So we're just going to walk up to the wall, and I started a little bit higher on this side, so it's going to be a little higher, obviously. So in a sense, what camera recoil is every time I shoot, there's a base recoil inside of the gun, and on top of that, there's a recoil that your camera will move up and down, as well as your reticle will change. So when I shoot this gun, you can see that my screen is shaking all over the place, back and forth, right? So my entire screen, if we look at just watch these boxes as I shoot my next clip, and you'll see the boxes are going left and right. That has nothing to do with the gun's recoil. That has to do with the camera recoil. So just check out those boxes and see how it's just shaking back and forth violently. So when we put the 2x on, I'll show you guys the difference right now. Remember the back and forth swing of those particular boxes, and I'll show you that there's a lack of that when I actually am using the 2x, which is an extremely big difference in feel of the gun and being able to snap around to whichever area you want to snap to. And shoot over here, remember, let's stare at these same boxes. When I'm shooting this gun, there is almost no movement at those boxes, which actually makes it, like I was saying before, a lot easier to control. So I'm going to show you guys some differences in kills right now to show you guys what I'm talking about by it being easier to control. So like right there, you see that if I had the 3x, my gun's going to be bouncing and bouncing, and I'm not going to be able to as easily track that player, as opposed to the Vision Tech 2x, which has less camera recoil, which makes the gun feel easier to control, even though, like we had seen before, there is no actual recoil difference. So again, like on this guy, if we take him out of the air, it's just an absolute laser beam. The gun feels like it has no recoil, which is so crazy because the gun's recoil pattern is the exact same. So let's switch back over to the 3x, and I'll show you guys again what I was talking about with it just being a little harder to control. And I definitely think you guys got to test out this 2x and let me know what you think. So let's take some shots at this guy, and you'll see the bounce that is in the gun, involved in the gun, which just makes the gun harder to use, honestly. And when you're using a gun like this, I don't think you need the extra range that the 3x versus the 2x gives you. So there up close, you're not going to notice the difference, but you are going to notice the difference at range. Let's try to get this guy out of the air, and you'll see how shaky the screen is compared to when I'm using the 2x. So now that I showed you guys a couple in-game scenarios and explaining what camera recoil is and how the Vision Tech 2x makes the gun physically feel like there's almost no recoil, I'm going to go over some clips of me using the DMR in-game that was on my Twitch channel. If you guys want to go check that out, that's in the description down below. Hit me with a follow, I really appreciate it. You guys will see that the DMR looks like there is almost no recoil, just like there was prior to the nerfs. So as I'm walking up around this corner, I know that I have the 2x, and this is me not trying to control it at all. It literally is a complete laser. Even as this guy is on the loadout, I'm still spraying just as quick, and I'm able to just control it and just tap his head. And then obviously I finish him off with the Mac 10. But as you saw right there, the DMR felt like there was no recoil. Make sure you guys test this out and let me know if this does help you guys in the comments. So even right here, we're going to go over another clip of me using the Vision Tech to show you guys just, oh, it's so insane. Make sure you guys try this out. It might even have to get nerfed, I'm not going to lie. These guns are just complete laser beams with this scope on it. I don't know if it's a bug with the scope, or like I had said, the magnification of the actual gun makes it feels like there's no recoil. But even if we check the last kill out in slow motion, it's just so crazy how little kick there is because the gun isn't actually shaking. Like, I mean, I'm just tracking his head the entire time. It's actually crazy how quick you can kill with this scope on the Cold War guns, and especially because most of the reason why the Cold War guns aren't in the meta, unlike the DMR, is because of how quickly you actually can kill because there's no recoil in the Modern Warfare gun. So even in this clip right here, obviously he's moving in a car, so it's nothing impressive. I'm just trying to highlight how much of a laser beam this scope makes all of these guns. I'm not even joking when I'm telling you I think this could bring the DMR back into the meta as the best gun again. There's literally no recoil on it, and none of the damage, the range, the fire rate got nerfed, so I have no reason to assume that this wouldn't just bring the gun directly back into this meta. So even in this last clip, I know that the guy is just flying in, but again, I just want to reiterate how crazy this recoil difference is and the 3x to the 2x. I'm just going to let myself talk for this clip, honestly. Alright, this is the recoil. Bro, this thing is insane with the 2x. It's actually just back to the old DMR. Now that's insane, actually. I mean, as you saw right there, I thought I shot, I think, 8 to 10 shots and hit almost every single one of them. It's just ridiculous how different the 3x and the 2x are when it comes to camera recoil, even though the recoil pattern is exactly the same. If you guys try this out, let me know in the comments below. Don't forget to like and subscribe the video if it did help you guys out. If you guys didn't know about this attachment, make sure you try it out. I seriously think it could bring quite a bit of Cold War guns into the meta, especially the guns that aren't used solely for the purpose of the recoil in comparison to guns like the Kilo and the AMAX or the M4. So one last time, make sure you guys test this out. That is going to wrap up today's video though. So I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace out.